He has become as instantly recognisable as the stars that he promotes. Been in the business for over 40 years, he knows a thing or two about spinning a story. We jetted to London to speak to the king of controversy himself, Max Clifford, to talk Jordan and hear the real reason why he stopped promoting Kerry Katona.
I caught up with PR guru Max Clifford, who has broken over 200 exclusive stories to the tabloids over the years. So, with Jacko making headlines this week, I wanted to know if he had ever got to work with the King of Pop.
I worked with the Jackson 5 in the very beginning, and I went over to Motown to meet and see them all, about 67, 68. But what impressed me about the Jackson 5, apart from their obvious talent and his incredible talent, was the fact that he was never allowed to be a child. The father was a very, very strict and dominant man who totally controlled them. So as a young 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, he was never allowed to be a child. And I think later in life, he created his own childish world where he lived as Peter Pan, which explains, I think, so many things about him.
You know, we're hearing all these stories about Michael Jackson. Do you think things will come out, or what way do you think it will be handled?
I think a lot of things will come out, because obviously, you know, there's a lot of people that were around him and a lot of people that were aware of the secret world of Michael Jackson. I spoke to him, 3, 4 months ago. He phoned, wanted to go and see Jade Goody when she was seriously ill in hospital, but she was too ill. But I did manage to put them on the phone. So that was probably back in about March, when he was over here launching the London concerts.
And we all know Max represented Kerry Katona for years, but what are his thoughts on her now?
I haven't looked after Kerry for probably about a year.
Okay.
I'm very fond of Kerry, but you know, it didn't work out. I mean, it did work out very well for a few years, and then she met Mark and fell in love and got married, and it got increasingly difficult for me to do the things I needed to do to make the best of things for her, from a career point of view, from a health point of view.
So that was that phone call to you on her show on MTV. Was that the phone call, the argument that she had with you on the loudspeaker?
It wasn't an argument. I mean, it was, you know, the last straw for me was the appearance in on This Morning, and she was slurring her words and things like that. And, you know, that really was, you know, there's been problems for a long, long time before.
Can I ask you about Jordan and the Peter Andre situation? I know you don't represent Jordan, but what do you think of?
I think it's been incredibly damaging for her. I think a lot of people that were her fans aren't now. I think he's handled himself extremely well. He's come across with discretion. He's come across in a very nice manner. So I think that from a PR perspective, it's been hugely damaging for her. She's got to take on board that, you know, what's been going on over the last few months has not been good for her.
You're about to get involved in something new for you. Tell me about this new venture.
But it's got a strong Irish link, of course, because Bubble G, which is the girl band that we're helping to launch, 3 of them came from Dublin.
Yeah. And
in fact, their auditions were in Dublin. Initially, I think they were looking for 2 extra girls. They had 2 girls. 3 of them were so good that there's now a 5-piece band.
And of course, 2 of them auditioned for Louis Walsh's band.
Yeah, but they were too good for Louis' band. This is why they decided to join Bubble G. I mean, in Simon Cowell's own words, Bubble G's got a much greater chance, in his view, than Louis' band.
I'm sure he said that.
Well, Louis doesn't have the experience, you see, that's the trouble when it comes to girl bands. You know, he's done pretty well with some of the boy bands, but he's going into a whole new territory.
They're shooting their video tonight, and of course they've a star appearance with someone. Who's that?
They're in Hastings, and Jack Tweed, who obviously was Mr. Jade Goody. Jack actually saw and heard some of their music, and when one of the girls, I think it was, invited him to come down, so I'd love to. So they're going to be in Hastings tonight working on the video.